Tesla drivers are almost 50% less likely to crash while driving a Tesla than when driving other cars. Here's a study. Teslarati. New research from Cambridge Mobile Telematics, one of the industry's largest telematics service providers, has found several interesting trends regarding electric vehicle drivers. Among the study's findings involved Tesla drivers who were almost 50% less likely to crash while driving a Tesla than when driving other cars. Their research dealt with driving risks for electric, hybrid, and traditional vehicles. The findings in the study were discussed at the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. The study revealed that EV drivers exhibit acceleration risks ranging from 180 to 340% higher than...
Yeah, I was just going to say that totally makes sense because the acceleration is just...
nutty.
Like the instant torque, but also, the speed. Like it's so quick. And you don't hear the sound.
The temptation to just hit that accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
But then after all, so they were more likely to do the acceleration thing, but less likely overall to crash. But then my question is, compared to what other vehicles?
Right.
While alarming,
gas.
But what does gas mean? There's a wide variety of gas cars.
That's true.
Is it a Lamborghini we're talking about? While alarming, this is quite understandable considering the different behaviors of electric vehicles compared to their ICE-powered counterparts. EVs tend to have instant torque due to their electric motors, so drivers with a heavy foot may end up accelerating more frequently than intended in an electric car. That being said, CMT's research also revealed that Tesla drivers are 50% less likely to crash while driving their premium all-electric vehicle than if they're driving another car. Interestingly enough, CMT's study also revealed that Porsche electric vehicle drivers are the opposite of Tesla drivers. They are 55% more likely to crash while driving their electric Porsche than when driving another vehicle. Ryan McMahon, VP of Strategy for CMT, shared his thoughts on the study's finding. Among the most compelling new findings are the comparison between drivers who operate both an electric vehicle and an internal combustion vehicle, allowing for a better understanding. Well, one thing I would just add to this is it really does matter which internal combustion vehicle we're comparing and what safety features it has in it. Because obviously when you're in the Tesla, you have autopilot and you have collision warnings and you have, depending on, I guess, whatever spec you have, but you have all types of safety systems that are pretty much across Tesla. Whereas you can buy an internal combustion car with almost none of that if you want. Like I can go get a car today that has like zero extra electronic safety features beyond an airbag and a seatbelt. However, if I'm comparing to an internal combustion car, which has all those things, lane departure, forward collision, warning, like if it has all adaptive cruise control, if it has all those features in it, it might be more comparable. I'm just speculating to an electric vehicle. But in the case of Tesla, since it's just like almost standard, most of these safety features, there's the benefit where in general, it's going to be a safer brand to drive.
Yeah, I'm curious about, people using adaptive cruise control. Apparently, a lot of people who drive EVs use it quite a lot on the highways. And what's the difference between that compared to like gas-powered
I have a
vehicles?
really strong feeling about this, that the key with Tesla's Autopilot is actually how easily you jump into and out of it.
Yeah.
So shout out, it's Scott. So basically, it's one button. It is one button, at least on my steering wheel, on the latest one, on the plaid one. It's one button. Right where your right thumb is, boom, I'm in. I'm autopilot. Leave it alone. So I'm constantly considering using it versus any other car which kind of buried it in the typical cruise control hardware, which is normally an extra stock that you rarely touch. And then it would have some series of buttons that you would need to learn, which is fine. I mean, I do that, but there are times where I just don't even want to dabble with it, and I just find myself driving. Now, on a highway, when all of a sudden, like you're driving quickly and then everything comes to a stop, you can see how a computer might be better at monitoring that than a human who can be easily distracted and so on. And other manufacturers need to learn from Tesla's implementation in this sense of make it easier to get into and out of whatever your top or most sophisticated adaptive cruise setting is. Because if it was easy to get into and out of, I think more people would use it. Now, I do have one criticism of Tesla's implementation, which is getting out of it. It's also one button, but if you just want to get out of it by engaging the steering wheel, like to swerve or something, it fights you. Rightfully so, because it needs to be relatively stiff and you don't want to bump it and all the rest of it. there's some fine balance there. There's some fine balancing work to be done.
Right.
Shout out Reggie.